Hello everyone, this is The Last of Us, grounded difficulty, no upgrades, no damage, and this is the second part of the video. I did I discovered something really good about my previous video while editing the audio, and that is that the audio is so fucked. It's so bad. The audio, I don't know what happened. Cause I mean, I know what happened, but I wasn't expecting it to happen. It's so weird. And what happened is that my microphone was connected to my PlayStation 4 controller. Um, and my PlayStation 4 controller was charging. And apparently, I tested this with all microphones. Apparently, when you are charging your controller, the 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 microphone sound will be all like weird. Oh man, it's so bad. And I know I'm really debating if I should leave it like that because the commentary is fine. The commentary is fine, you know. But the audio quality is so bad. You can still hear me. No, it sounds like an audio recording from a World War II, like a radio conversation or something like that. Oh my god, it's so bad. I'm obviously going to redo the commentary for the first video, but I think I'm going to upload the bad one to. I'm just going to. I'm going to have the. It's going to be so bad though. Oh man. I'm going to redo it anyway. But it was really weird. It was really heartbreaking too. Just me finishing the commentary, very good commentary, almost there, like 1 hour, and then I I look I listen to it and it's like, oh man, I think I'm going to leave it like that. I'm going to have two versions, or I'm going to like cut the this version. I'm going to after doing the other commentary, I'm going to like leave a few bits for people to listen and leave it like as an extra. So funny. But back to the game. This is the hardest part of the game. Like, there's no other part in this game that really compares to it. This is really the hardest one because there's a lot of enemies and you need to kill them all. You can't really stealth past this. Uh, you can stealth this section, but you need to kill all of the enemies anyway, and that must be very hard. I wonder how some people did it, and I know that some people did this game as much stuff as they could, but I wonder if they did this part because this part seems very hard. But I will use my bow and arrow to my advantage. This is going to be probably the most stealth that I will be, or I will like be, getting or be playing. I will be playing the. This is probably the section with the most stealth because this takes. How much time does this take? It's 3 minutes already, like 4 minutes already. It's like half the section, so it's probably going to take like 6 to 7 minutes. So 6 to 7 minutes, no checkpoints in between. It's very tricky. I really wasn't really taking any chances. I used the bow and arrow and kind of stealthed the section. This is going to be the one of the sections that I'm going to stealth because no other option. But yeah, I will camp in this room because being in the like outside, and even though it's a good area and the environment kind of helps you, the enemies have a really good aiming, and the Molotov guy can screw you sometimes. There's a sniper too, and so being too exposed, it's not the best way. And so coming here, it's probably, you know, the safest way than being like exposed, because every enemy in here, like, well, not every enemy, but a lot of enemies have guns. I just wish Ellie would shoot more. If Ellie would shoot more, could end this section very, very quickly, and I wouldn't be playing as safe as I'm playing right now. But it's been like 5 minutes and a half, this section, so it's longer than I was predicting. It seems like 7 minutes plus like 8 minutes. It's wow, it's very long and kind of boring too, because I'm just in this room just waiting for enemies. This guy is very armored. I wonder if I already took off his armor before. Oh man, this is really hard. Thankfully, I wasn't stuck here for too long. I actually wasn't stuck here for too long. It just felt long because it's a long section. But if you are stuck here for too long, oh man, I'm very sorry for you, because this is not a very good section to be stuck on for a long time. And I can say that because the electrical dam was kind of a long section-ish, even though it's not as long as this, but it felt very long, and I got stuck there for quite a bit, and it felt miserable. So I imagine that if people get stuck in this part, it's going to be very interesting or very painful, I guess. Almost 7 minutes, not literally 7 minutes right now. And yeah, and I failed. Ellie's trying to shoot though. Ellie is doing a good job shooting there. The only thing is that they since that I'm hiding here and using like the stealth mechanics, enemies will have trouble finding me. They kind of know that I'm here, but they will have quite a trouble navigating through here. They will like go through the window and then get out because they don't see me. It's very strange. I wish this is the only part of the game that I wish they were a little bit more aggressive. If that makes sense. So, ooh, that was lucky. I think this is it. Yeah, this is it. 8 minutes. 8 minutes section. Damn. That's very. Oh my god, the audio is so loud. Wait a minute. Alright, that's better. Way better than before. So yeah, you just went through the most difficult part of the game. So this is another part that can be difficult if you unfortunately get stuck here for too long, or yeah, that or you take too long. I don't know. The only problem about this one, well, not the problem, but the only thing that it's tricky about it is that it's another very long section. And this video will has quite a few long sections, especially the electrical dam and the university part. There will be the last encounter will be quite hard. It's going to be quite a hard one. Not a hard one, like a long one, kinda hard, but not that hard. It's a very fun though. It's very fun. It really, it really does that part very good. That last encounter. But yeah, I will go into this building, just bait everyone here. I guess they will kinda hear me. They will know that I'm here, so I'm taking cover. I'm waiting for more people to come and just strike them. If more people are not coming, you can go down. But be careful, because going down, the enemies could be coming up, so be ready to shoot. But apparently there's nobody here, so I will get out of here and see how I'm going to tackle the other enemies. there's probably still 3 or 4 or more than 4 probably. One thing that I don't know if you can do it is using the enemy's traps against themselves, because this part has quite a few traps, and I wonder if you can use that to kill enemies. I know that if you throw a brick near a trap, they won't trip it because they're not stupid. Infected might, but I don't there's no situation in this game where the game lets you use traps to kill infected, actually. Huh. And that trap kinda exploded but didn't kill anybody. I wonder why, because the traps idea is kinda cool. You know, it's like the Evil Within. You can use some of the traps in the Evil Within against the enemies. So why wouldn't you in this game? When there's no more situations like that. There's the only parts in this game that there's like trap. There's like a trap. It's like in this one and in Bill's Town. And in Bill's Town, it's a scripted. It's like scripted an enemy tripping one. So I don't know. I don't know why they didn't use it or didn't let you make traps. Imagine if you could make traps. But I guess that would be kind of complicated to do in this game, because this game mechanics are kind of, they're grounded, you know. You would have to like lay the bomb but then put the wire somewhere. It wouldn't be automatically go to the nearest wall, because this game is, I guess, too grounded for that. Too realistic, I guess. You know, I don't really like saying that. But this part is not hard. This part you just need to run away. I use a stealth weapon in the beginning because I don't know. I just want to. I won't take chances with that track, because the track can shoot is very accurate and it shoots you very well. So I won't take any chances. I will just run past everyone. Try not to be as stealthy, but just enough like stealth to get through. This guy though, you can't really stun him and kill him or melee him. It's a very weird one. He will grab you anyway. It doesn't matter. He will have always a prioritization or a hyper armor. So you need to kill that enemy. And here I am missing an arrow. So arrows are very powerful in this game. They will kill any enemy in one hit. I think even infected. Only clickers would die in like 2 arrows. It's very powerful. So I'm just going. This part's not very hard too, because Sam is with you. Not Sam, like the brother. Or is it called Henry? Yeah, Henry is with you. You can distract the enemies. I'm glad that almost every enemy in this game has a melee weapon. It's quite common. I was thinking before coming for this game, after like a long time that I didn't play, that melee weapons were kinda meh, because they had durability, and I wish that weapons didn't have that durability so you could use them to your advantage, because they are very powerful. But then I played this again and was like, oh, they really give you a lot of melee weapons. It's actually quite balanced, and I don't mind the durability that much. So I try to stun this guy first and then shoot the other one so that it doesn't get me. This part's gonna be a little bit long too, this one, because there's not a lot I can do here for the non-stealth, because there's a sniper. If there wasn't a sniper, I could have been a little bit more creative. But there's a sniper, and the space outside is very open, and you can't kill the sniper. The sniper will disappear once you kill everyone, but you cannot kill the sniper because he is in the spotlight, and the game is scripted for the spotlight to be always on, so that it creates like it's going to be tense, you know, going through this area. So you can cheat essentially, but I don't think you can kill them. And if you can, probably like with a Molotov. I wonder if it works, but I doubt. So I'm going to use this area as cover and wait for them to come to me and use the shotgun. They will be coming. If I'm going to use the Molotov here, that would be weird. Wasting a Molotov here. I think I am though, because I don't save Molotovs for the next session, so I think I'm going to look at that. Yeah, didn't even do anything. What a waste of a Molotov. There's a section in the sewers that I wish that I had that Molotov. That was an actual waste of a Molotov. That was really bad. Ooh, I regret that. If I had two Molotovs in the sewer, like in the sewer section where you are waiting for Sam and Ellie to open the door, that section would be so easy. But I just had one Molotov cocktail, so it will be kinda easy, but not that easy. Still tricky. But if you know what you're doing, you're going to get past it easily. I know what I'm doing. Why am I waiting? I could just probably don't have ammo or bottles. Could just shoot him and just go straight for him. The other thing is that I'm afraid that there's still more enemies. And I don't want him to engage him too close to the windows because I'm afraid that the sniper would kill me. But there's still one enemy, so I was kind of right to wait. And that enemy had a gun too, so ooh, the rifle with that. They are very precise with rifles. So I'm going to wait until get an advantage on him. There's two of them. Jesus. Is that it? I think that's it. No, it's not it. There's still a Molotov guy, I'm pretty sure. Because the light is still going on, right? Or did I forget to edit this final part? Yeah, I forgot to edit. No, there's still one guy, look at that. Oh, or maybe the sniper got down from the... maybe. Interesting. Another closed encounter. I really love these closed encounters with a few enemies only. Because it lets you just use everything you have and use the stun mechanics. Even though there's quite a lot of enemies. And you saw that part where I was doing a strike animation and he shot me and it seemed like it didn't get me. There's a very weird thing about that in this game. And that weird thing is that I don't know if you have iframes during the strike animations or the contextual animations, because right? Because sometimes I like, especially when it's infected, I do a contextual animation and infected still hit me. You know, there's no iframes; it still hit me or still grab me. When it's with enemies with guns, sometimes when I do contextual animations, the shots seem to go through me, and other times doesn't seem to go through me. So it's a weird thing. I don't know what does and what does not. Like, I don't know. It's very weird. But this is the last one. Just needed him to lure him there, because if you're rushing towards an enemy with a gun without any like precaution or any plan, without a bottle, it will shoot you 100% of the time. But here I am. I'm not going to plan this, by the way. What I was planning was to shoot him in the head, but kind of worked in my favor because I got two clickers together. I will just shoot him with a shotgun. Kind of a waste of a shotgun, but I don't know. I thought it was worth it. And this is the really hard part now. Now this is the part where I got here stuck for like 1 hour and a half, and when I discovered that you can skip through this, if you lure the clickers to this room, I was like, oh come on. And I wanted to retry, but I couldn't. But my strategy was to just stay in this room and wait until the clickers come and just shoot them. But I was like, okay, I lost, I don't have ammo. I'm just going to make a run for it and see what happens. So I made a run for it, and to my surprise, it worked. Usually doesn't work because if you run straight through here, usually doesn't work because the clickers like are too close, and you can't. The game won't let you do the prompt. So you need to lure the clickers to that room, I guess. I don't know if it works all the time. That was my first time. I couldn't retry. I wanted to retry, but I couldn't. So this is the part I was talking about, that I wish that I had 2 Molotovs. But one is enough. And look at me. I have no bullets. Look at this. 2 arrows, 2 revolver shots. Just that. And I'm still going to get through this. And this just shows how this game is actually very well designed. There's no like section in this game where the game is just the game will lock you, like will soft lock because you don't have ammo. You can do anything in this game, and I didn't know damage, everything no damage, which it makes it even more impressive. But this is a tricky section. Don't think this is easy though. This is a very tricky section, and I was kind of lucky in the enemy patterns. I was lucky that I had the clickers, because clickers don't run. Clickers only do that flail move, and they don't really run after you. So I was really lucky there. Still, I went through it. Just kill as much runners as you can with the bow and arrow if you have it, or with like the revolver, because they are the ones that are going to get you. The clickers are no problem, because you can bait the clickers and kite them around. This is another part. This is another part that it's hard on paper, but once you know what you're doing, it's very easy. Look at this. It's like I just need to stun this guy because this is the only guy that's on the way. Of course, there's a little bit of luck involved, as you could see. I got a few lucky passes over there, but and here, but you know, it's better than doing like a 4-minute section. You know what I'm saying? This is way more engaging, because I hate boring stuff. I hate doing something boring for like 4 minutes or for 7 minutes and redo it every time I fail, especially something this hard. I just I just went for it, just ran for it and hope for the best. Even if it's luck involved, I don't care. I just do it. Doesn't matter. At least it's short. Even if it's luck involved, at least it's short, and it's not that much luck involved. I tried to crouch to see if I could like get a little bit of an invasion going on, but yeah. One thing, nah, I'm not gonna talk about that. Was going to talk something about The Last of Us 2, but I'm going to save it for The Last of Us 2. Not want to get into it. But yeah, this part you can't really take damage. I don't even know why I'm showing this. I guess that I'm showing this because your AI partners can actually die. So yeah, I guess that's why I'm showing this. But this is not hard at all. This is very easy. Very easy section. And then there's going to be infected coming. Or no, first is the Molotov truck. Well, after these guys. and it's coming. Yeah, it's coming. Look at that. This part, I don't know if you can. Again, I don't know if you can fail this. You probably can. I think in other playthroughs, I think well, what happened here? That was weird. I didn't edit that correctly then. Why was it like that though? Interesting. I paused the game there, but I thought I edited it well enough. But apparently I didn't. Oh, maybe it's because I quitted from the like PS button, PS home button. I don't know. Well, whatever. I think I got that well, did that well for the no commentary version anyway. This takes quite a while. It's kind of boring. If you're doing this, it's kind of fun, I guess, shooting the enemies. But if you're watching watching this, like, so it's very boring. It was the same for me with Resident Evil 7. I thought doing the commentary for the Resident Evil 7 was going to be cool, because I quite liked that game. I liked playing it. It was fun. But the commentary was very boring because Resident Evil 7 is not the fastest Resident Evil out there. So there's a lot of dead time in that game, or low time, or I don't know what you call it. And those are hard to watch. Especially when you can't really skip this, but yeah. Well, I wasn't going to skip it anyway for my no commentary. There's going to be a couple affected. You can. I wonder if you. I don't think you can shoot the infected that's going to get Sam. I think it has armor, so that it's scripted, so that it can get bitten. And I wonder why you can hear them so perfectly from that distance. Yeah, this part you don't really need to do anything here. You can wait, but why would you? I mean, shooting is more fun than waiting. One cool thing that I wish that this game had is this sniper rifle. Imagine if you could have this sniper rifle in the main campaign, like as a new game plus item. Because this seems like a very powerful sniper, and probably with the fact that you can use it without the scope, because you can do that with precise weapons in this game. Oh yeah, this is the part. It's very bad. It's very badly designed, and all because of the AI. So that wasn't intentional. You need to throw that bottle at that guy, but it's so inconsistent. I will skip that part and go straight here, because this is the part that takes the longest, and it's very long. It's very bad. It's so bad, this part. But that beginning part seemed easy, didn't it? But it can go wrong in so many ways. Enemies will like, their accuracy is so good that there's no way they will see you and immediately shoot you like robots. And I know they are robots, but you need to at least, you know, not make it obvious that they are AI. Make them a little bit more human. But yeah, this is the part where there's no way you can do this stealth, but I needed to do this stealth because I didn't have the ammo. So I'm here like hiding and just waiting for enemies to rush here, because there's only quite a few that will rush this for the first round. The other ones won't be as aggressive, and that sucks, because this is the only part of the game that I wish that enemies were kinda at that balance of being aggressive and not being aggressive. Because if they were too aggressive, they would rush here and would probably kill me very easily. But the other ones, they should be more aggressive here, but I'm being very careful. I'm being very careful because you will literally get shot like 100% accuracy from the enemies. You show a little bit of your body, that's it. And they detected me too. Uh, are you hearing them shooting the ceiling? They will kind of detect you and they will shoot the ceiling because they know where you are, even though they're not seeing you. They know that you're under them and they will shoot the floor, and you can hear it. It's so weird, and that sucks because imagine if you could go around them, but you can't. The enemies are so alert that if you go too much like close to them, they will just shoot you immediately. So I'm taking advantage of the kinda of the level design here. Like there's a hole here that you can see through, kinda, even though it's not like intentional. The developers didn't intend you for you to use this hole. I'm pretty sure because it's very very unreliable. But that's the only way. So they detected me, and this is one of the things that I hate. The why aren't they rushing me? They know where I am, but they are not rushing me. That's the part that sucks. It would be very very good if they rushed me. There's a Molotov guy throwing Molotovs. Be careful with that because if you are outside, they will Molotov you exactly where you are. It doesn't matter where you are. You could be in the other end of the map. I literally was at the other end of the map. Literally, I'm not even joking. And the Molotov guy threw the Molotov so high, and it landed perfectly where I was. It was amazing. I've never seen a Molotov guy doing that in this game. It's just so bad the AI in this one. It's just I hate it. So I'm playing safe because of the Molotov guy because I know he has god aim. So I'm not standing in one place for a long time. But I think here it's kind of safe because I'm under something. I'm just waiting for the Molotov guy to throw a Molotov, so I can rush because I think he is the only guy left, or it's him and another one. So I'm not taking any chances, especially when the checkpoint in here is so bad. I don't know why they didn't give a checkpoint at the beginning of this one section, because the beginning of this fight is not very hard and it's not bad design. What it makes it bad design is that checkpoint is so bad that I need to rush it, and when I rush it, it makes it look like it's bad design because the AI is too good. But here I am, just going to throw a bottle at him, and it didn't burn, so it's really just him. I'm here taking my time for some reason. Oh, look at this. I'm really panicking right now. At least their throws are not bullshit. At least there's that. Here's a bad throw on my part though. But yeah, you can make this part very easy. This is another part that if I had another Molotov cocktail, it would be so easy for me. Because there's if you have at least like one Molotov cocktail, at least one, you can just spawn trap the enemies. They will just go through the Molotov when they enter this door. It would speed this very very much, and it would make this so much less miserable. And oh look, 6 minutes ago I was looking at if the game checkpoints you here, but not. It's 6 minutes ago. So I'm being very careful here because enemies they are so accurate. I'm not joking. You think that I'm being a little bit too paranoid here, but I'm not. The enemies have such an accuracy. It's so unhuman. I'm not joking. So yeah, I'm going to help them. I'm glad these enemies at least to rush. Sorry about that. Here I am checking again if the checkpoint changed, but it didn't. So I'm kind of like, I'm just, I don't, I'm like thinking how I'm going to tackle it because I have just one bullet on my normal handgun. So I'm just saying, there's just one guy though. So thankfully, he went down in one bullet, and he didn't like aimbot me. Maybe because I activated the last known position mechanic, and well, not that I assumed that was working because the AI really knows where you are. And the last part, I think there's only 2 enemies. And here I am, like being very safe, not taking any risks. Where are they? I think I'm going to I'm going through this way because you have a little bit more advantage. And look at that. I don't even think that was an enemy. That was like Maria. I think that's it. Yeah, that was it. My god, that was... Oh, that was a very, very hard section, I have to say. It wasn't pretty. I didn't like it that much. By far the worst part of the game. There's no perfect game. The only perfect game is Devil Within. I'm joking. Devil Within is flaws, even though are very, 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 very small. I'm not exaggerating. Devil Within is a very, very almost perfect game. And the reason that Devil Within is not a perfect game is that because not everything is perfect. Just because of that. I can't name anything in that game that's not good. Everything that bad happens in that game is my fault to a certain extent. Maybe some of the movement in that game is a little bit strange, a little bit wonky. But if you know what you're doing, you shouldn't have any problem with it. But as always, like survival horror games, they always have that bad section. I mean, not survival horror games. Games in general have always that notorious bad section, and they are always those sections that you're asking yourself, like, how did they allow this to exist? Because it's so obvious to you, like, it's so obvious to you that this is a problem. Why didn't the devs fix that? Like, was it that hard to fix, or was it that like impossible to fix, or did they just think it was okay? Because it's so obvious. It's like in Resident Evil 4, Salazar boss fight. It's so obvious that the Salazar boss fight is so bad. Like, you're just, what were they thinking? It's always those parts in games that are very, very bad. It's just like, they could be easily changed if developers like knew that there's something wrong in there. But in our minds, like, we don't know what's going on in the development cycle. You don't know what you know you don't know why is the reason that they didn't fix it, or why they thought it was good, or why they didn't change it. You don't know what's behind the scenes. So it's easy to point fingers to the faults in games and saying that this is obviously bad, why didn't they change it? But it really confuses me. Here's the sniper. I'm using stealth a bit. Enemies with armor, if you stun the enemies with armor, it doesn't seem that you don't do the strike animation, you just go straight to melee. Even though that one of the ways that the melee works in this game is that there's a chance that the enemies won't be like you won't be immediately to the strike animation, so it will you will have to do an additional like combo before finishing them up, but it's not as long as a combo as it's the normal combo without stunning the enemies, without doing anything to them. So that's what I noticed. But yeah, stunning the enemies and getting that is not the most effective way, because you don't want to take too long on a strike animation. You want to move. That's the thing. That's one thing that I just love about Resident Evil, is that in Resident Evil you have iframes during the melee animations, and the melee animations are very like good. They are good for crowd control too. This game doesn't use it for crowd control, but I guess it's for balancing reasons, because the melee in this game, you are a little bit too free with it compared to Resident Evil. You are very free with it, and it would be a little bit unfair if you could use it as a crowd control, since it's very powerful, the melee here. But man, if it was possible to imagine if you could stun an enemy and the strike animation was like a crowd control like punch, like Chris does. Imagine if it was like a kick, like Leon. Or, for Joel would fit this character like the punch. But like, could you imagine if Joel could like just clench his fist very far and just punch the enemy like as strong as you can, and just make it like fly, and just use it to knock other enemies. Could you imagine that? It would be so cool. It's like Resident Evil 3 remake. If you play as Carlos will have the counter. The Carlos counter is a punch, and that punch is very good. Even though it's not very effective, still it's a very good punch, as visually, and sometimes kind of works, but it's not very reliable. But it's so good to pull that off. It's like you punch those enemies, and the other enemies will get knocked out too. Not like exaggeration like in Resident Evil 4 or 5 or 6. But it's they get stunned, like they flinch, which it helps a lot in that game. I wish this game like had something like that. Joel like punch very strongly. You could make like the normal melee very weak, like in Resident Evil 6. Like normal melee very weak, unless you stun the enemy first. Like use the melee to stun the enemy, and then like the very strong punch at the end when the enemy is like stunned. That would be very good. Like if this game had that, it could be like very good balance if they did like Resident Evil 6, because Resident Evil 6 mechanics are probably the best Resident Evil mechanics that there is. It's a shame that the game is not. It's not very good, I have to say. Leon's campaign is good. It's the best campaign there is. It's the campaign where you will use those mechanics at its full potential. And the other campaigns is a little bit different, because enemies are more long ranged, so using the melee it's not maybe just for iframes. But this game took a lot from Resident Evil 6 melee mechanics. Like in Resident Evil 6 you need to stun the enemies first before you do like a very good melee. And if you stun them 2 times, you would do like a, how is it called? I don't know how it's called. It's a French one or something like that. But it's a special, like you stun the enemy 2 times in Resident Evil 6, you will do like a very sexy like melee attack. And this game kind of took that from Resident Evil 6, because in Resident Evil 6 if you melee the enemies normally, like mash melee, it won't be very effective. You will stun the enemies though. You can use it to stun the enemies, but it's not very effective. You don't want to use it, and it has a lot of stamina penalty because that game has stamina for the melee. And this game that took that. This game, like if you do the normal melee, you will do weak attacks. You know, you won't take the enemy. You will take the enemy. It will take longer to take the enemy out. You know, it will take like how much, like 6 hits, like more than 6 hits. Meanwhile, if you use the stun mechanic, like you stun the enemy first and then you go for it, you will end the enemy in like 2 to 3 strikes, unless you have like this weapon. This weapon kills any enemy with 1 hit. It doesn't matter if you stun or not. But yeah, Ellie was. But yeah, oh, that was close. That was really, really close. But yeah, this game really took from Resident Evil 6. They went like they used the Resident Evil philosophy and they adapted it to a more modern game. And they had they most probably thought that Resident Evil 6 had the best like melee system of all time in survival horror games. And I'm glad that they were inspired for it, because Resident Evil 6 had so much potential to be a greater game and to expand it. But yeah, we know how that turned out. So The Last of Us, I'm glad Last of Us exists. Yeah, I'm being a little bit too safe. I think there's still another spawn. As soon as you come to these stairs, you will activate the second spawn, I think. Yeah, the second spawn, which is 1, 2... I think there's at least 3 enemies. And this is another long section. But I have the... You think that you don't have the ammo, the resources to do this, but you have it. Just need to use the melee very intelligently. Thankfully, this enemy doesn't have a gun, so you can kind of rush towards him. But be careful, enemies with melee weapons, sometimes they can hit you first, even though it seems that you didn't hit them first. So be very careful. I'm not risking it. I'm using the bottle, and there's a lot of distraction weapons here. Here he is. Just stunning them, making sure, because it would probably shoot me if I didn't stun them. There's more. There's at least one more. I don't know if he is like the one that's waiting for me in the door, or if it's the other one came, but I don't think. I think it's just two in the additional spawn. Let's see. I think it is. Yeah, I was kind of being too safe because the checkpoint here is kind of long too. It's a fun fight though, but it's a long one, so I'm kind of playing a little bit safe here. Until now, there's only a few sections that I did stealth. It was probably the ones that involve clickers or bloaters. So I'm doing pretty good, I guess. Yeah, this is the part where it's going to be only that guy, and I'm going to do a dumb mistake here. And I have to backtrack. Unfortunately, that happened because I'm too dumb. Let's see what I do. Yeah, I'm going to... yeah, this is going to be the part. I'm going to throw the bottle at the wall. Oh, it's so dumb. Because Ellie... because, like, Ellie doesn't let me do things. And, yeah, I just wasted... The enemy hears it, but think this is one of those that are stationary, you need to shoot them so that you can't really progress that far. This game does that, they put these stationary enemies that you cannot lure, so you can like totally stealth through the level, or if you can, like maybe using a distraction, just rushing towards him. But look at him, he's in a very good position for catching people. Yeah, this is it. I'm not going to show the part where Joel is hurt, because um, there's no point. You can't die. I don't think you can die in that section, to be honest. And if you can, well, I don't think anyone, doesn't matter who, I think anyone with thumbs can do it. And I'm wasting their bullet. So this is going to be the part of the survival horror games where it's going to be the generic cabin like fights. It's always in some sort of cabin or facility that resembles like something like that. This is not a cabin, of course, but it reminds me of the Resident Evil 4 cabin, and the one in Resident Evil Within 1. It's not a cabin too, but everyone calls it a cabin. I call it a cabin. So this is a cabin too, and even this one is kind of well balanced, because there's checkpoints in between. There's some areas in between, so it's not all fighting in one spot. But yeah, every survival horror game has this. For some reason, let me see a survival horror that doesn't have it. Like Dead Space has Dead Space 1. Let me see, Dead Space 1. Dead Space 1 doesn't have it as a lot. Like probably those quarantine sections where you need to fight a couple enemies before like the quarantine deactivates and the doors unlock. But I guess that's a lot of sections in Dead Space. In Dead Space 2 there's the drill section. The giant drill section is well, giant drill, not the Dead Space 3 one. The one that Ellie... Is it? Whoa, they're both called Ellie. Ellie, The Last of Us, and Ellie in Dead Space. Is it Ellie? No, I'm not sure. But in Dead Space 2 you have to defend... well, you don't have to defend, because the drill is not... it's not in any danger. You are in danger there, but it's kind of a section like that in Dead Space 2. Dead Space 3, let me see what I remember from that game. Dead Space 3, I don't know. Maybe there's something out there. Maybe that one drill section, that game is so bad. I don't really care. There's another one that I'm going to do stealth. This is a room full of clickers. Of course, I'm not going to action through this part. So I'm going to use the aiming trick to my advantage. Pick up this stuff, by the way. It's important that you pick up as much stuff as you can in this level with Ellie, because you will have a forced bloater fight, and you can kill it with 2 Molotovs. So be sure to grab everything necessary to make 2 Molotovs for the next area. Will make the surviving part, the cabin part of this game way easier. What would you call that part? I don't really know the term for it. Even The Evil Within 2 has it, and The Evil Within 2 is a literal cabin. And Evil Within 2 has 2 like similar encounters where they use it. And why did they do it? Why survival horror games do it? I mean, it's obviously like a trope, because every survival horror game has it. Actually, The Last of Us 2. The Last of Us 2, does it have defend a cabin sort of thing. Last of Us 2. It doesn't really have it now that I think about it. Maybe that section with Abby when you're defending Lev and his or her sister, whatever. Oh wait, I don't remember her name. I think it was Alex or something. I don't know. That section you can consider it kind of holding your ground kind of thing, but it's not. It's kind of gimmicky because you only have a melee weapon. Like you don't have like a whole arsenal. Like you're supposed to fight for your life. You just have a hammer. I don't know. If there is in Last of Us 2, it's like they are too short to be considered that. Oh, and I'm glad that I cancelled that. That was very lucky. If I didn't cancel that attack, it would grab me sooner and David wouldn't help me. But wow, the AI there was phenomenal. But from all the cabin, from all the cabin fights, I think The Last of Us did the best one. This one is the best cabin fight because I mean, it's kinda long, not as long as Resident Evil 4, and maybe not as long as Devil Within 2, but still a little bit long to be challenging, and has a boss at the end that you can like kill into Molotovs, and it's not even luck involved. Literally, this level gives you the tools necessary to make 2 Molotovs, so it's intentional. It's not like something that you need to prepare. Because Ellie doesn't have anything that Joel has. So I'm going to use the bow and arrow. Very good for short distances. Yeah, I'm going to use that at my advantage too. That's Ellie. It seems that Ellie does this strike animation like as soon as you help David. Like Joel still hits the enemy a few times. So yeah, I would not go for the clickers like immediately because the clickers are the slowest enemy. You need to go for the faster enemies. So don't leave the clickers for the end. They're very slow. And they can't really see you. And if they go near you, they won't like grab you. Like, of course they will grab you as soon as they touch you, but it's not like a grab like the other infected's grab. The other infected's grab has some weird range, and it's something that I find kind of weird in this game. The infected grab range, because sometimes it seems that you weren't supposed to be grabbed, but you are grabbed anyway. So here I am. I think I finished him like this. 2 Molotov cocktails and that's it. Yeah, that's it. I shot him down. I shot him with the rifle once, but I don't think that did anything because it was in his armor. I don't think... Maybe it takes a little bit of damage, but not that much, you know. So David is going... it's really useful to do this as Ellie. I'm really glad that they balanced it around because Ellie is very weak for melee. She's very vulnerable, and they kind of balance that with enemies focusing on the AI partner, and you can use it to your advantage. This part is not bad. I mean, it's not hard, not bad, not good, not. It's just a cutscene. You can take damage here though. If you don't go for a specific path, or if you do a specific like motion, you can get shot, but it's not like tricky or anything. You just need to go with your gut. I was shot like here once, and that was it. I just restarted the checkpoint, and the second try I did it. So not even this guy with the sniper, but I still kind of dodge him. This part is mandatory, obviously.